Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We are two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and mostly trashy world of reality TV, but some docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which is warm and sassy and fun, but also snickering and bickering. At the end of the day, hopefully something a little bit sweet, but also bickering.
hmm Lots
Hi.
of bickering with like red orange hair. So today we're talking about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, season 8, episode 10, The Couple's Grimm. Not the Brothers Grimm, but the Couple's Grimm. Wow, they really are going on with this fairy tale themed. Oh, Happily Ever After. Wow. Is this like the first season out of 8 that they've done like definitely like fairy tale titles?
I don't know, but this one's, you know what, on par. I think that there's some writer doing some work, pitching something, some producer, and this is not a bad episode title. They've had really worse ones. So, because specifically, Nicole and Mahmoud are so grim, like
Mm,
a grimmest couple I've not seen.
yeah. Let's start with them.
Okay.
So,
So go
yeah,
ahead.
go
Yeah.
ahead. No.
Well, we pick up and guess what? It's not been going good. Like, since he hasn't had, and I mean this, one moment of they haven't had one moment of just neutralness, not even joy or passion or happiness. Like, fuck all that. There's definitely no peace. There's not even basic neutrality that has happened between them since he has gotten off. It has been absolute, I mean, just toxic, abusive torture. And just why would you invite this in? And it makes no sense because obviously we see a lot of them just souring, grimacing, as we say, just a bunch of pouty, skinny people with various colors just walking around. That's all we get with them, just like, which is God bless, great. If you're like, like doing like a fierce runway show or whatever, but just season after season of 90 Day Fiance is just a little intense or whatever. However, I have to think that she has been Chris Jennering this for herself and is going to like launch some sort of fashion consulting slash business because the thing that I see her as her through line is style and fashion this entire time. It's like she in confessionals with Mahmoud will be like, no, we really love each other and you don't even understand. He says that he wants to like never be with me, but then, we have really great moments and we just love each other so much. I'm like, n- I mean, wait 1 second. Let me just, because honestly, Nicole, what? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, none of us do. We've never, if the cameras haven't seen it once and they followed you around for 2 years, like, what makes you think that we believe you if you say it happens? Like it would have happened once. We have eyes. Go ahead.
You brought up some like an astute point that I don't even think you noticed, but the truth is that we've not in these 10 episodes never seen a confessional with them together. It's always been her in that hot pink dress showing her Jezebel body, and him in another location doing that. So that's one thing you spoke on. And the next thing is something that Mahmoud said is that it feels like you brought me to this country to show me that you have the power, and now I don't want to deal with it anymore. Like, you are not, I don't know, yeah, you are not who I want to be with, because my wife doesn't lie to me and tell me she's coming home and then come home in the wee hours. Like, that's what my wife is not going to do. So I feel disrespected and I no longer love you. And I was on his side, and I mean, I've been on his side this whole time, and we've just seen Nicole turn into some kind of weird monster when it comes to the way she's treated him since he's been here, because she feels so put out with the way that he's behaved that she has decided that her bad behavior is completely uh okay, and it is not. So she's like, well, Mahmoud and I have been getting along, but we haven't slept in the same bed. He's been sleeping on a blow up mattress, and I thought everything was so good, okay, and then it wasn't. He accused me of cheating, and so now we're in a fight. And then we see her not looking at all upset. And I'm not saying that you have to look visibly upset. But how many little cute jackets does she own? Because the choice to put on that spring blue leather jacket with that dress, long sleeve through the fingers dress, while she's pinning a some fabric. I'm like, is there ever a moment where you are at rest? What does your at rest, I'm just working in my studio outfit look like? Because that's the Nicole I need to see in this moment. I don't need to see the Nicole who styled this outfit for filming, even though she's supposed to be uber sad. It is just, it is really hard to watch. So we were, thank God that he got some friends from the Moss, that he's been, you know, in a better mood. But then when she came home in his mind drunk and she's like, I wasn't even tipsy, which I'm like, if you weren't tipsy, then how did he know you were drinking? Did you bring some gum and maybe brush your teeth, or her blatant disregard for his desires of what he wants in a wife at this point now is a bait and switch.
I I I agree. Just also side note is for someone who lives in Los Feliz, you'd think she, and looking at her, you'd think she'd be more into like a gummy. You know what I'm saying? Like take a fucking gummy. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I can't subscribe to her. She feels
Yeah.
abusive in a way of Angela Deem. Like she
She
feels
needs
abusive.
weed, honestly. She really should. She really should. Sorry. Yeah.
She really just believes that Mahmoud is here to, like, as an American, stop her from what she's like, what her path is in life. And I really hate this like American rhetoric of like, you can't stop my freedoms, but you married him. And not only did you marry him, you married him in a Muslim manner. So you did the bait and switch on him. You call him controlling, but the truth is that he actually isn't controlling. Like you are following along with his control. You have had the power in this relationship from jump. And the fact that you told him that now he can no longer even stay in your home and you won't buy him a ticket to go home is rude. I think she should buy him a ticket to go home. I don't understand why she's withholding funds from him when she knows that she got a guy who worked in a fabric store in Cairo. Like he lived at home with his mother. Like I don't think the man has money like that. And she's behaving as though he does to me by allowing him to just leave her home without any, like, she's responsible for him. She brought him here on a K1 visa. She is responsible for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yeah, she basically hasn't been talking to him, and then she keeps like saying like, it's we've always talked about divorce. We talk about it all the time, but he has said different things now, and obviously he says that he's not in love with her anymore, which is I guess the thing that she is can't abide or whatever. And so yeah, I mean, I was so happy to see him get in this car with this other gentleman, like, and yeah, he's just like, someone will get me home, like I feel like his brother can send him money or whatever. I think I get Nicole shouldn't. I mean, whatever Nicole's going to do is just like Nicole's been selfish the entire time. It's just that I think that for individual sake, you should, hopefully his brother can just like get him here, back. I wish we could see a FaceTime of him and his brother, like conversing over what happened, like his brother just being like, hey, I wonder why they haven't filmed anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good shot. I just don't think that man has. I don't know how much is a trip to Egypt, 1,000 US. I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's a lot of money to ask him to shell out when he's the one that's clearly at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And so I just am sad for the whole situation for him. And then she's like, I hung out with Olga because Julian and Olga got into a fight. What? And he's like, well, how come you didn't like tell me? And she's like, I can't hang out with my friends now, you controlling bastard. And he's like, no, but let me see your phone because I think you could have told me. No, I'm not gonna let you see my phone. Okay.
I wouldn't want to be married to her. I wouldn't want to be married to him. I think that they shouldn't be married. She seems like, she has some growing up to do. There was always like an interesting choice for her to have made with him, and the safety that she thought that she had, and a maturity level and an inexperience level that she felt that was like a match to her, psychologically or something. I
Yeah.
mean, because I think that we might have thrust too much idea on her for being, a woman that was traveling alone with cute style and like, at least opinionated when it comes to like hair cuts and
Mhm,
hairstyles and hair colors,
mhm,
very opinionated and committed.
mhm,
But at the
mhm.
same time, I think that I think she's constantly grasping for something.
Mhm.
and she's not being able to find it, so oh my god, though, yeah, we definitely next couple got the premiere for on episode 10.
Mhm.
I think maybe there was one of her talking. I keep forgetting one of her talking earlier, but like it was so long ago, of Angela and Michael. They have so weirdly, I know, okay, I guess, edited them into this season in such a way. Like it feels, God, it feels so haphazard to like have someone enter in now. But basically, here's Angela, and remember how when she got her tits done, right when she got her surgery, and Michael was so sad because the tits looked so small because she was still so big. God bless, mass wise. And then the doctor was like, "Don't worry about it. They'll look big. They'll look big someday."
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, it's because she got her boobs done. Yeah, so and she's tittied out. Like,
all titted out.
yeah, over you.
Mm,
And they're in at the Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. And the reason why they're there is because Nigeria is just backlogged with visas and shit. So they sent his case to another nation
mhm, mhm,
for him to
mhm.
be able to have the interview there. And I was like, I didn't know you could outsource such things, but
Yeah,
they did.
that's how bad the Nigeria situation is, I think because of
Outsourcing.
like maybe some of the like crime that happens there in relationship to America, I think they just have to be like cybercrime. I think they just have to be, unfortunately, really hard to get around. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. So yeah, the government sends it over to the Ivory Coast, and because I was like, why did he say merci? Like, why is he saying why is he speaking
Yes,
to the
he's
bartender
Frenching
in
it
that
up.
way? Yeah. And so French colonized country. So
Cameroon. Sorry.
yeah. So they sit down, and she's just like, Michael, this is serious. And the whole time, all I think is that bottom denture is just gonna fly right out of her mouth. It is so obvious. She looks like a marionette or like a dummy where she's like, you know what it is? It's like Fire Marshal Bill.
Mhm, 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 mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
it's very much a Jim Carrey character.
It is. It is.
And but she's wearing like some kind of bikini top, and it's her like her face. It's the
Mhm.
cigarettes, is what it is. I was so distracted with everything that was happening with
I
Angela.
know.
I could not concentrate on the subject matter at hand, which
Yes.
is her thinking that he's an idiot and not taking the K1 visa shit seriously, and her being like, "Listen, man, if you don't pass this, I am no longer going to be with you." And can you believe it has been 7 years?
No.
That means that she was 50 years old when we first saw her. And she looks different, but just as bad as she did in the beginning.
She looks so much younger in the beginning, yes, with all that, and she looks so not that young now. She has, okay, I'm gonna say this. First of all, it's like Barbie core, whatever the time we're in, she's like full Barbie core. She has like a broken Miona ponytail back here. Sitting on the table is a little pink fan with like, do you see the with like
Mhm,
bear ears on it,
mhm,
like
mhm,
so, and she's smoking,
mhm,
obviously. Like I don't know if it's indoors, but the fan and everything, and just like again, just to see this woman with the tits out and Barbie core where she is just like to think of the fish out of water of it is actually mind blowing.
mhm,
Like I imagine her walking through this place and what people must think. I mean, just it's in God bless. So that's all the thing. And yeah, she's like, Michael, I'm not going to do it again.
yeah,
Like it's a lot of like, and he's like, Angie, no, 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 this is it, whatever, over and over again. And so the next scene, is them talking to her various spawn and Skyla. And if Scotty's in the background, they're not filming there. We're only seeing the FaceTime shot, probably,
mhm,
probably.
mhm. Yeah,
Um,
they're just hullabalooing and yelling and having a great time, and they're like, "Papa's coming to visit. Papa's coming to live with us." And I'm like, "Michael, are you sure? Are you sure you wanna join that?" You know what that house smells like? It smells like syrup and Kool-Aid.
Cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah, cigarettes, Kool-Aid,
You
cigarettes,
know, it's 'cause I think syrup is the worst smell, like, and that usually accompanies children because it's like whenever they have pancakes, they just cannot wash the syrup. It's just because I have, like, my mom had a daycare growing up, and, like, I hated it so much. It was such an invasion of my life
mm,
that the smell of syrup reminds me of a bunch of kids, and it makes me
mm,
upset. Uh,
visceral. So let's say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
Oof. Now, when you say syrup, do you mean like,
pancake
what if
syrup.
I know, but what if
Yeah.
it's like really good maple syrup?
Is it not all supposed to be maple syrup?
The smell between what is usually commercial pancake syrup and the
Uh-huh.
smell of 100% maple syrup to me are so vastly different. Kind of like, you know how there's fake vanilla smell and then there's
Mhm.
vanilla bean or vanilla. It could
Okay.
be.
Yes. To me, and I hate vanilla as well,
Mhm.
that all smells the same.
Oh,
It's all a sticky, sweet. When I have pancakes here, because I do make myself pancake because I love it, I put the smallest amount of syrup.
hmm.
And then I have to immediately wash my hands and clean those dishes because I cannot abide the smell of it. Same thing with real vanilla and fake vanilla. I can't abide it in candles. I can't abide it in a body spray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's terrible for me because people love it. So I really thought that she was like 65 years old, and to find out that she's 57 just makes me feel good about what I'm gonna look like at that age.
Her and I are both going to get this. I'm going to say this. Her and I are both going to get this at some point. She needs it. And so do I. Neck lift. Okay, go on.
Okay. So the kids are making a loud noise or whatever. They're having a good time, and her and Michael in the night, at least from filming. Now, the next day, they do a little placard on the screen. So we think it's about to be something like crazy, like Angela finds out that Michael cheated on her or something like that. And it's not. I had to like rewind it and pause it to read what it said. It's like Angela finds a screenshot of text. And I was like, ooh. So then we go in
Yes. That she
and
sent. Yeah. Not yeah.
so we go in and we find that in his little package for his visa, he included a screenshot of a fight that they had where there was a threat of divorce. And he felt that adding that in there would show that they're a real couple with real problems. She felt that adding that in there was showing that they are not a stable couple and then therefore should not be granted a visa. Now, that to me is just different perspectives. For her to be as mad, it was weird that she was that mad for that, as opposed to being like, "Oh no, bro, we gotta take this out. Thank you for trying to show that, but no." Go ahead, Chris.
She knew that those screenshots and the fact that he had them were indicative of emotional manipulation and abuse to hold certain things over. And I think that when she saw that he had them and printed them out, there was something that she felt was a nefarious thing that he was using going to use against her and or have documentation of. Because she kind of also kept saying like, I wish I could think of the exact word, but she was like, these not indict these are like evidence. She just I think though she was anyway, that's my point. I think that she felt like was keeping them to use against her at some point later.
Mm. I mean, she berates him and belittles
Absolutely.
him, and he's just like, "I know that's just Angie. She when she gets upset, she can't control herself. So I understand."
Michael, so dumb. I can't trust you to do anything. You know?
Angie, baby, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And she's like, go on ahead and put it back in there then. Go on ahead and you see if they let you. Because I'll tell you right now, Michael, I'm not staying with you if you get denied. This is
Mhm.
serious, Michael. And the whole time
Oh,
she's wearing this like crazy ass shawl with the American flag on it.
yes.
I just don't know where people get these items. Like, where do you find them outside of the 4th of July? Do they just sell America things in the South like that?
Yeah,
Oh.
America Macy's, but she also has
Oh.
her nails and it's like Madeleine nail gone. Gone Madeleine nail. I mean, like it's nothing I mean, if they were press-ons, they didn't work. If they were like acrylics, I mean, I don't know if she dug her way to the Ivory Coast, why there are no nails left. I mean, like she looks banana-ramas. Like obviously sometimes she has her whole hair slicked back and a Miona ponytail, but in this scene, she has a white puff of cotton candy, like 1/4 cotton candy left of a hair, where some of it is like has that weird like melted like hardened layer because water has gotten to it, or extra like licky splits off of fingers. You know I'm talking about? Her hair is just, I mean, she looks bananas or whatever. She's just like smoking. She's like, I'm not going to go with you. You're going to do it yourself. And so then, of course, he goes off to the interview by herself. And then immediately she's like, I shouldn't have done it. I feel bad. She's like smoking in the room. I can't imagine all of their stuff, like what it smells like, like I know you think the syrup, but like, oh my God. She is toxic trash. And I feel like, well, I guess we forgot about Last Resort. Like I haven't seen her in a long time and with Michael, but like it's because it's like Michael and her together. And that's just another level of reminding us how horrible she is, because you can't dance around it. Even though she wants to, you cannot dance around that she is a horrible nightmare. And he probably isn't great, but it's overshadowed by how big her evil is. And his is so much lesser,
I mean, yeah, I do know. Took pains to not show all the things that she's done to him in their like backstory explanation. I said to myself, y'all didn't show her screaming at him not once, not when she came and knocked on his door in the middle of the night. You didn't, none of that. So what you show is her getting off the plane, them kissing, you show the wedding, you show other sweet moments, but you don't show any of her crazy ass outbursts where he's running behind her, Anji, baby, or the goofballs, nothing. So wow, you're really skewing this to show that they have some kind of normal ass relationship when that is in fact not the case. And so it just really, I mean, her showing her titties to his sister or cousin or whatever on national
TV. The face? You already said that too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, like just, no, I didn't say that. But like, yeah, it's just so much that she has done to him that these producers just took out of the explanation of their story, as though like we're watching a 7-year love story. And then we see
The Notebook. Yeah.
Then we see immediately like who she is. I mean, on that nightstand, there was juice. There were 2 bottles of Coke. There was a bottle of Sprite. There were some vitamins. There was just so much on that bedside table. And I'm like, I can only imagine what her bedroom looks like. It is just filled with knick-knack, paddywhacks, and junk. And what is her obsession with Coca? I will never understand people's obsession with Coca-Cola over some water. I get that you don't like the way water. Well, I don't get you don't like the way water tastes, but like the Coca-Cola, listen. I have seen plenty of people every day with a Coke in their hand, and I'm like, what does it do for you? Like, what is it that delicious? That's crazy. Anyways, so she's then upset and he's like, I know she will get over it, but I have to go. And he then goes to the place to, do the interview. So she's a nervous wreck. And that's the end of their segment.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we got a quick one with Gino and Jasmine to kind of wrap up last episode. And so this is right off the heels of, her telling him that she doesn't want to have a kid. And Chris, you called it 100%. Thank you really did like call that out of what's going on. So we're supposed to believe that they spent the rest of the night not talking about this situation and just woke up today with her and her cute curly hair and him getting dressed to go home or packing up. And she's like, I wanted to talk to you yesterday, but I didn't have a chance. And I was like, what were you doing? What were you and Leandra doing? You couldn't talk to your husband for a full 12 hours.
Yeah.
She's like, it doesn't feel right for me to bring a child. Basically, she's saying, I don't feel right having a baby with you because my kids aren't here. She tries to say that it's stressful and that she's going through a lot, which is all true. But the main reason is that she can't start a family with Gino and her family that she already has isn't complete. And her kids aren't where they need to be. Because you imagine how they would feel knowing that their mother left them, said she was coming back, but then just ends up getting pregnant.
Right.
So.
Yes. You're absolutely right. So basically he has to like somewhat agree with her, that like, baby, you okay? We'll just like put it off. And then she brings up the fact that she felt so good doing the beauty pageant and that should be what she does next. And he said yes. And so that's what they are now, I guess, going to do. But now let me just tell you, that's all boring. I think that's boring. And I'm getting to be back to where she's unwatchable for the sake that she's had so much plastic surgery. And then she just keeps talking about her dysmorphia because I feel like it's not, I feel like we're just watching an addicting. But basically, they are telling the streets that they have broken up. Now, they are layering it in such a way that makes me feel like it's a contrived notion. I do think that they are on last resort, so this can be fanfare for this. Basically, why I say that is because I don't know why I say basically twice, but she has been TikToking in different environments where Gino was not, and he is not been with her as well. And I think that the streets are saying that she is either with some new dude or they are definitely living alone. So,
Yeah.
mhm,
So it's the end of
mhm,
an era, thank God.
mhm.
So
Or not.
maybe
We don't know.
we'll
Maybe
see
it's
her on singles. We definitely don't want to see him on singles. Um
I
so
don't know.
oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I would rather
Okay.
see him than her.
Oh, I'd just stop it. Shut up. Like, yeah, that's how
Okay.
I feel.
You tell
Let's
us. Okay, you tell us.
let's yeah, let us know what you guys think. Who would you rather see, Gino or Jasmine on
Mhm.
Single Life? Okay, so next couple is Rob and Sophie. They're again in a sex shop.
Wow. Yeah.
They're again in a shop where there's clothing and lingerie, and
Yeah.
she's acquiesced to get him to wear some clothes. And I thought to myself, you don't already have slutty clothes? Yes, you do. Two, order it off of Amazon. Like, we don't need to see this shopping trip again. Whoever this producer is boring. Um, and then they have the stupidest fight that makes me so
Yes.
mad. The producers thought that this would be interesting. They should have
Yes.
skipped this. They should have skipped this fight. It is so stupid. She's upset because she comes out of the dressing room in half of the sexy costume he wanted to see from her, and he is like, "No, that's not what I want to see. I want to see something else." And she's like, "Thanks, Rob, for telling me I'm ugly." And he's like, "That's not what I said. I just was like, I want to see something else. Like, I wanted to see something actually sexy on you and like whatever." And she's like, "You're a dick." And then they get into this fight. She gets upset. They drive home. She's yelling at him and ignoring. And then she gets out of the car and goes into the house. And I
Mhm.
was actually on his side because it does seem
Mhm.
in this moment that she gets mad about little stupid things.
Mhm.
And he's like, "I'm tired of feeling this way." And I was like, I would be tired of feeling this way too. If you just feel like nothing you do is right. I mean, there has been times where Rob actually has been an absolute dick to her because he still thinks that he's some kind of king dingling and deserves more than what he gives. But in this moment, her getting mad at that is so fucking stupid. And it does look like she's looking for any reason to leave. It does look like she's unhappy and she would rather be elsewhere. So she's picking a fight with him so she could leave. And she's like, "Fine, you don't want to do something with me, Rob? Fine. If you don't find me sexy, fine. I'm gonna leave. Fine." And I was like, "Girl, just leave."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about them because we know, like, a bunch of shit went down, obviously, with their family or whatever, and Claire was arrested and knows all of this, like, abusive stuff. So now I'm like, they're not, I mean, they're not fun to talk about. They just seem, they seem horrible. So I don't know. It's a really hard thing. I think I keep thinking with 90 Day Fiance, the perfect formula is one, maybe two seasons with someone, but not, but like there are, Sophie and Rob are already like toxic either or contrived out in such a way. Like so often the drama gets like heightened and magnified for each couples till they get until they get like unwatchable and like cringeworthy. And that's where I think Gino and Jasmine are at. And that's where I think Rob and Sophie have already gotten to, where it's just like not that I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not, this is not a watchable thing anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why you really need fresh blood. That's why I think Love in Paradise is funner to watch right now.
Mm-hmm.
With Madeline and Luke and Annie and Kyle, like it's still new. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. Like at this point, we are 90 Day Fiance fuckboys. We're like it's like one and done. Like I don't want to be in a relationship with any of these people.
Yeah. And I don't want to watch the dismantling of the relationship, the breakdown of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see this like crazy, and they get so crazy in these fights that it's just like, this is unhealthy now. We're watching people be unhealthy, and that's like not interesting unless it's Love After Lockup, which it
Yeah.
adds another different layer to it.
Yes.
Um, all right, so Kobe and Emily.
Yeah.
Love the culture stuff.
Mhm.
Love the fact that dad's with it. Hate the fact that mom's not. Emily also, I don't understand why Emily isn't more forceful with her mother, except for maybe if it's like a ploy with the producers, which it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's annoying because I just want it to go well for them. And I love that Scarlett, bat out of hell, doesn't give a fuck. She will sing Do Re Mi Fa So's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star at any time. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if there's all these lights, cameras, action, if every single uncle and aunt she doesn't know is in the room.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be her. And I love
Mm-hmm.
it for her. I
Mm-hmm.
also love to see Emily combing her hair. And when she's fighting her, being like, why do I have to do this? Emily's like, because. And I said, you know what? I haven't commented not one time on Scarlett's hair. And that means that Emily is doing her job.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, she's a little Emily.
Mm-hmm. It's really
That's an
cute in the
Emily
kids.
person. An opinionated, I'm going to do what I want kid. And Emily is very much like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I agree. So basically, she's had to make this food for the family. Now she said she's had to make the food, but I really wish that we had gotten a lot more into what it looked like and their opinion of what it tasted like and all that stuff. We knew that she was happy. Like, I feel like there's a big storyline, the undercurrent of Emily making this food. The sister comes over like that. So I'm like, okay, but are we going to get like a big moment of someone being like, okay, Emily?
I'm sure we are. Next episode.
Okay. Because I hope so, because we need it and we deserve it. So that's like another thing that I'm like waiting for, and then like, whether the face of that person is like, whoa, like hopefully we don't, like Sharp would be like, the face is like, or something, and we're just like, oh, but then he's like, it's amazing, or whatever it's gonna be. But basically, yeah, then this formal ceremony happens where they're like, okay, Emily, you're gonna kind of like be here and then leave and come back. Obviously the dad knows what's happening. The mom, you're just gonna be annoying and sit there and ask questions when they want you to. We'll give you like a wink or whatever. And so Kobe's dad, stepmom, and some of like either like his like nephews, uncles, kind of like people like that, come over to the house, and then they sit down and they say, thank you so much for raising this daughter. And Emily, of course, goes away, and then the mom is sitting there, and then they're like, do the kids know each other? They do know each other. They've met. This is the right family, right? Like, this is, and then this is what we want to like take your daughter into our family. Your daughter will be our family now, not so much your family, our family, our your husband's property, our family. And listen, Emily's dad is not so much like, no. I think Emily's dad's like, huh, okay. Which is great.
He's like, so you just take her off my hands? I mean, our hands?
You're in the basement right now, my house. So I'm just like,
so what does that mean exactly?
Say more.
Yeah. I
love
Kobe's. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I love Kobe's response when he's like, "Oh, the bride price and everything is to show that if we could afford this, then we can afford your daughter." And I like that explanation too. I also like the explanation of like, we're taking a person from your home, and here's just something to replace them. With here's a cow that can help you. Here's a goat. Here's some palm oil. Here's whatever. I wanted to taste that palm wine because I thought they were going to give palm oil, and they ended up doing palm wine, and it looked like horchata or like some pina colada situation, and I wanted to taste it. So that was my thought. But like it was just really cute, the ceremony of like, these people, you would like to be with this person, and so like let's now do some dealings to make sure that this is all good, and then we'll feast. And so I thought that was really sweet. But the mom is like, well, it feels like you're buying her, and the dad's like, well, yeah, she's our property now. And it's almost like this woman does not know that is exactly how things happen up to like 100 years ago.
Yes.
Like I don't understand. We're maybe 120 years away, or maybe 100 exactly, from women's right to vote. Women have been property up until their time to vote, or even the civil rights movement. Women have been property.
Yes.
They weren't expected to work. Their whole job was to come into the man's family, take his last name, and fucking deal with this shit. Like, I don't understand why she's behaving as though that is not something that happens in America as well. So I hate it.
Yeah, I get it.
I hate it.
I get it. But I do think that it's like I literally think that she's being prodded by production. I think that like if we didn't, we can literally see like a little like poker that comes in and just like gets her like, to like say that or whatever. I don't know. But Emily does a good job of like doing her best. And Emily's hair is so great. I really
Yeah.
like Emily's hair.
It's like
I'm just like,
Emily, Kalani,
yeah.
there's a couple of them in the great hair club for women.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're happy. Basically the only thing that's like a point of contention that's like the thing I think that the Emily's dad or they want to make Emily's dad like pause for is that they want to make it seem like in this moment when Emily dies that they're going to ship Emily's dead body back to Cameroon and then bury her with the rest of the clan,
Yeah.
which I mean, we all know as rational people that's not going to happen. But in this moment, I think that they really want to like have Emily's mom's face be like,
Yeah.
no, no, of course not. No, she'll be buried at Virginia Cemetery with all of the white people that came before her and her children or whatever, and after
Yeah, yeah,
like, I don't know, her children, I mean, the
yeah,
children will die after her, but the people. But anyway, that was
yeah.
just a little moment. But I think it's just because that's definitely what happens, I'm sure, in the culture when they all live close to each other. Like, and also probably the cemeteries, or I'm not quite sure what they do. They're, it's probably close to everyone in proximity anyway, but this is probably a different
That was
situation for them.
Yeah, that was a really good tangent on what you think the cemetery, life is like.
I don't know, I realize, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, it was so weird to be like in Southern California, the first time you go to like the South, like New Orleans or whatever, to me, and all they have the things above ground, like because
Mhm.
it's so swampy, like the mausoleums, or what do they call them, just like above ground, cement dead bodies out of ground again, is what I keep saying, which
Yeah, you
already felt crazy. I know.
Yes, Chris, we get it. They're above ground. Let me just say that this episode was so boring that we're done at 37 minutes. So,
I feel like we talked a lot. No?
I
Okay.
mean, we did, but not for the normal hour. You guys, if you would like to join us on Patreon for $10 a month, please do so at patreon.com/DocuSweeties. You get exclusive content like a live every first Monday of the month and other goodies. So if you are at all interested in that, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties. Pot of $10 a mess. So is it mess or mesas? The mesas is the table. Month mess, I think. I don't know. But if you can't do that, Chris will tell you the way you can do it. Para gratis. Chris?
Oh, just go ahead and follow us at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties one on X, and we have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. If you haven't yet given us 5 stars and a review, we def need it. Let's be honest. Please. Also, we have a YouTube up and running, and we're like getting cuter by the day when it comes to being on top of like reaching out on all the social medias and updating ourselves. Honey 2.0 coming. So we love you, but get in now. We'll talk to you later, okay?
All right.
Bye.
Bye.